Hello, our names are Carlos, Angel, and Edwin, and we are an investors. Today, it's our turn to talk about BlackBerry case. BlackBerry was born in Canada in 1984, but not it was until 1999 when it launched its first mobile terminal. Put in the hand of consumers the BlackBerry 850, some benefits innovate like a keyboard complete query. Very novel at the moment, since the other device worked with numeric keyboards, which also slowed down had a push email system on which allowed to receive and send emails. The electronic still had all screen of the first terminal, stayed small to read emails, so in the year 2000 the BlackBerry 957 appeared to fix it. Among other things, already had a rechargeable battery, since until now they worked with batteries with this device. We began to intuit the future BlackBerry that so many users would captivate, although today those benefits don't seem like anything to us. At the time, the company's turned right into a pioneer in the sector that the BlackBerry became an indispensable work tool for Wall Street stockbrokers. What they need to be constantly connect and alert of new emails because of these characteristics, so the BlackBerry is becoming very popular in the sector corporate. That one had in his pocket, it was no longer just a tool work, but also had turned into a status symbol social. The company continued to grow an unstoppable pace with global expansion, amazing for several years, improving the device with each new model, as the company that fastest was growing all over the world. In 2005, they launched one of the first chats instant internet-based, allowing owners of BlackBerry like between them without paying an additional code for sending a text message. This has encouraged new users to buy the company mobile phones to be able to talk to your friends in no wonder then than thanks to his great popularity. Another type of public away from PC will begin to interest in acquiring a BlackBerry from the company share were for the clouds. Their growth was astronomical, up the 84%. In 3 years, people start using influencers like Barack Obama. Even the US federal government and the Defense Department were examples. New devices highlight BlackBerry. The company started to win market share among the public general, and mobiles were no longer aimed only at men black and government agencies, but began to give them a more personal use. The Ryan company lived one of the best moments, but soon the golden years of BlackBerry.
In 2007, Apple, incredible ahead of market trends in the mobile phone, took out its iPhone for sale, the first device with touch screen that also worked with an operating system that allowed mobile app to download incredible multiplying their functionalities and wide and interface friendly and very easy to use. At the time, BlackBerry not even bothered to take is a new launch as straight to did the iPhone. It was the terminal with some feature aimed and audience Jones at target that they did not work. However, the iPhone turned out to be a resounding success from the first moment of its launch, and that was the end for BlackBerry. And it turned out that the target audience for iPhone was much broader than I know people from all ages begin to acquire iPhone. Now use the youngest, so Apple was acquiring a large share of general consumer market, but what worse of all is that the sector business to feel attracted by the amazing interface of the iPhone and its infinity possibilities. And BlackBerry was losing market share too into the sector despite the company continued to land on the leader fraction that was not yet ready for writing with touchscreen, and still preferred the full keyboard and the terminal offered Google. For your part, rushed to acquire and adopt an operating system to mobile very similar to the iPhone. That could also be used the terminal of different manufacturers. Their new advertised products and Android was also a success absolute and so far has now to keep up. With your competitor smartphone with layered benefits, we are no longer lowly animated and business. The market trends has changed and now the general consumer and become more demanding, claiming the latest advances for terminals. Personal use the revolution of smartphone Apple and Google realize it and they start working to be pioneers in this new generation of mobile. However, it seemed that BlackBerry was resting on his laurels. While its most directly competitors, they keep trying to be in front of the market and be the most innovative in this technology. Ring company of BlackBerry did not realize that its product in a short time would be obsolete, but the most curious thing is that despite the new release of their competitor BlackBerry, continue to lead the market and I will do it for 2 more years. Until 2009, the company's share did not they had stopped rising and their expansion continued at a good pace, and this left to managers believing that revolution had no effect. Then actually market trends they were mutating a lot without rarely they would have realized, and soon the consequence would begin to show in the blink of the eyes. The terminal benefits as had been adapted and the design they seemed old and not very functional. BlackBerry operational system only use 10% of applications than Android and their competitor. This reason iPhone increased and absorbed the consumer of BlackBerry. In this point, BlackBerry is done.
For 2013, the decline of RIN was imminent. The value of stocks was falling down and the company decided to fire 4,500 employees. But what happened? How could the enterprise fell so low? And how was that possible? The truth was RIN, the company that had created the BlackBerries, didn't have the most adequate organizational structure. They had two CEOs making decisions at the same time. That was a big mistake. They didn't react in time. That success of the first cell phones let the company take a relaxed and unchangeable attitude. When they realized the mistakes, they were too late to enter into the technology market again, where Google and Apple were the kings. This is a risk of technology business. They change all the time. If you aren't in that way, you can disappear completely, as happened to BlackBerry. This history touches many things about the speed and transformation of technology companies. If we aren't on the right path from the beginning, it's very difficult to return to the wave. BlackBerry had one of the biggest business mistakes in the history of technology.